The transfers have been made and also transfers have been averted, hopefully some of them for the betterment of this club. And we are about to start what will be the final season of Unemployed to Legend. Hello and welcome to episode 24 of Unemployed to Legend here with Norwich City. My name is Craig and coming up in today's episode we have the opening Premier League game of the season against Watford in what will be season 9 of Unemployed to Legend. And as you might have figured from the intro, this is now the final season of the whole series. I did explain this at the end of the transfer episode, which was the last episode on Friday. If you haven't checked out the episode, by the way, make sure you go back and check that out. Check out all the transfers in depth as they happened. We went through all the players and also one of the situations that did come up, which is namely our possibly our goalkeeper Valerie Nafor leaving. It's probably why he wants to leave. I still can't speak properly. But if you are looking forward to this season beginning, if you're looking forward to our Champions League adventure getting underway later this season, make sure that you hit the like button down below, smash the big red subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you don't miss the future episodes coming up, which will feature and zone in heavily on the Champions League. But these are all the transfers that we made from Gregory Haro downwards, and we've also we sold on quite a few players as well, the likes of Paulo Cesar, Harvey Elliott, Eduardo Quaresma and Adamola have all been sold. Styles and Eggestein all left on a free. But the situation with regards to the whole series we will go into once the match actually begins. Before we do though, let's just have a quick look at the season preview and also just remind ourselves of what the board is actually expecting from us this season. So the media are predicting us to finish 9th in the Premier League this season. Preferably we'll finish higher, but I know with European competitions it's going to be much more difficult because we will be distracted by European competition. And as for the club vision, if it goes through, thank you. The board are hoping for us to finish in the top half of the Premier League and reach the first knockout round of the Champions League, minimum. I think we'll do very well to do that, depending who we get in the group stage. The group stage hasn't been drawn yet, but otherwise I think Europa League will be something to make a good run in as the season goes on. But we'll see. We will see how it goes. For now, Liverpool have drawn already against Man United. That's a big game for the opening day of the season. Wow. That's robbed a winter evening of that game then. But for now, we are going to get into our game and we are going to hopefully get our season started with a massive 3 points. So this is going to be the starting 11. There's not really much of a change, bar one player. I think literally one player, and that is Maxence Cacare, my French international midfielder. Naturally, I knew about him because I managed France at the same time. But our starting 11 is going to be the following. Nafor is in goal because he is still here, at least for the moment, and long may that continue. Bensouda, Terrell, Immobile and Lucas Gabriel are the back four, with Navarro, Bulgarelli and aforementioned Cacare in midfield. Cantu on the right wing, Nani and Martignac are up front. Martignac is also back on loan. I should make that a bit more plain. I've also just realised I forgot to just change a couple of things tactically. I'll do that in a moment. But as far as the series goes, yes, this is going to be the final season of the series for 2 reasons. Number one, priorities in my life. If I want to take myself out of it for a moment, which is a shame as far as the episode goes. In fact, what do I want to go out there and impress me? Okay, if you insist. But there are things in my life at the moment that I need to make a priority, and unfortunately a YouTube series is not one of those priorities. I love this series, I love making YouTube videos. Unfortunately, I just can't commit to it at the moment. Hopefully I will be back very, very soon doing it. It all just depends on how things go in my life. But also, the second reason is we are actually coming up on the end of the FM22 cycle. FM23 is just around the corner. They've announced the game, I think, but I don't think they've actually announced when it's coming out. Although, if it's going to come out, you can probably assume November, with the beta maybe a couple of weeks before. It usually is each year. And I'm going to kind of assume at the moment it might follow that same pattern, but we'll see over the next month and a half anyway how that goes. So it's unfortunate this is going to be the last episode of this, not the last episode, the last season of the series. My apologies. I say that, and Watford have just taken the lead here. I call bias. We all know a certain someone who is a fan of Watford at SI. I call bias anytime I play Watford. I really, really do. Come on, boys. You should be way better than this. You've beaten way better. Let's go attacking. Let's just try and absolutely force something. Bensouda might have taken a knock already because, of course, he has. Shorter passing, yeah, that is on. I don't know why. As soon as you go 1-0 down, no highlights ever happen. In fact, Bensouda is tired. We're probably going to have to move Gabriel over to the left-hand side and putting Wallace on at right back. Yeah, that first half was nowhere near good enough. Come on, boys. What the heck was that? I mean, if this ends without another highlight in the second half, I might have to show the Liverpool game just so you can actually get something equivalent of an episode. Oh, Lindelof can actually play there. Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's go for it. Shorter passing, we'll just do that on him. Who's looking very tired here as well? Who's looking very tired? Always press him. Why not? But one thing I will say is even at the end of this season, we will still have a few more episodes after that because this is World Cup year 2030. This is the 2029-30 season to be exact, which means we'll have the 2030 World Cup coming up, and I'm of course manager of France, and I fully intend on getting France to the World Cup, otherwise I will be sacked. And in that case, I will hopefully do a series where we will then take France to the World Cup and hopefully finish up with a World Cup. That would be one way to cement my legacy in this whole series. Speaking of legacies, Mikola Martinyuk is fast becoming my favourite striker of this entire series. The man can just score at will. That's the main reason we brought him back for another season-long loan. I was actually hoping to buy him. I had a fee agreed of about 35 million with Liverpool, but unfortunately we didn't have the funds at the time, so I delayed it, but unfortunately just couldn't get the funds to actually bring him in permanently. So for now, he's just going to be in on a season-long loan, and if this is going to be like the final season anyway, this will probably be it for obviously Martinyuk because, well, it's not like I'm going to be around to see him stay. So whether we keep him or, whether we just buy him just so Norwich will actually have him as a full-time player, as a permanent player going forward. Well, we'll see. We'll see what the transfer budget situation is in January. Why do we keep giving the ball away, by the way? I mean, we got it back, but we just keep being so sloppy with our passing. I'm a little bit concerned. There's no Eggestein or Styles neither to sort of keep things ticking along nicely. Rodrigo's going to come on on the right wing for Cantu, who's not had the strongest of games. And for my final trick, which we'll do in the next few minutes, we'll see how it goes. Worth noting, we are still on attacking from very early on in this match. We had to be. A draw is just a disappointing result. In fact, Navarro is shattered. Have we got anyone who can be... Oh, Onyeka. Duh, of course. Onyeka can be the attacking midfielder. We'll see if that works. But it's been very disappointing thus far. Let's just get the passing standard up. Distribute quickly. We're going to have to push the lines up as well. I'm not particularly enthralled with this performance, which is a bit of a shame. Oh, come on, boys. You've got something. Or have Watford just been so defensive? Wow. Right, well, that was a damp squib, wasn't it? Hands on hips. I mean, it's not the end of anything. I mean, we've actually scored in the first game this season. We didn't score in the first 5 last season. So that's already an improvement. That's for 1 to 3 days. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Right. We are going to be back for... What a run, by the way. Liverpool, Man U, Tottenham, 3 out of 4 games. I mean... Wow. The Premier League's been a bit savage of us. We'll be back with the Champions League, the first Champions League game, and also a Premier League game, which will most likely be, I'm going to guess, Tottenham. So we'll probably be back for the Champions League and a Tottenham match, because that is exactly around that time that the first game is going to be in Europe. So, when is the draw for the Champions League? I don't think it's for a while, is it? It's not until the 30th, no. So, it'll be a nice little surprise for the next episode who we're going to have in our group. I anticipate it's going to be a very difficult group. Europa League, anyone? If you have enjoyed this episode, make sure that you hit the like button down below and smash the big red subscribe button so you don't miss the upcoming Champions League games that we're going to have in future episodes. We will be zoning in heavily on those as well as the Premier League. I thank you all so much for watching this episode. Thank you for your support on this series so far, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video.